Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you once again for joining us right here at the Reggae University Rototom Sunsplash 29th edition, right here in Benicassim. And before we begin this afternoon's session with our very special guest, I just want to draw your attention to the new revised and expanded edition of my book, Solid Foundation, An Oral History of Reggae. Thank you very much. Some of you may know that this book was first published back in 2003. This new revised and expanded edition is up to 673 pages, has a new chapter detailing the developments of the last 15 to 20 years of reggae music. So there's firsthand testimony from Chronix, Janine, Kabaka Pyramid, Micah Shemaiah, Gabriel Selassie of the Kingston Dub Club, you name it, they're in here. There's also additional testimony from throughout the book with figures such as King Edwards talking about the ska years, Johnny Osborne talking about recordings he made before Studio One when he was in a Rocksteady Harmony group. There's the book really goes back to the jazz scene of the 1920s in Kingston, Jamaica, and traces up through Jamaican rhythm and blues, which happened before ska, then ska, rocksteady, early reggae, roots reggae, DJ style, dub, the flying cymbal style, the rocker style that became the craze in Jamaica in the late 1970s, moving up into dancehall in all its permutations. I encourage all of you to go to the White Rabbit website. That's the publisher, White Rabbit Books, an imprint of Hachette Books, or go to your local bookshop and get them to order this book. And right about now, one of the people who features in this book is a legendary singer from the roots reggae era of the 1970s. Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome for our special guest, Johnny Clarke. Now, yes, Mr. Clarke. Yes, thank you very much for joining us. Now, Johnny Clarke, you're a man who has a long involvement in reggae music, a very long and impressive career, a multifaceted one at that. But can you tell the good people here at Rototom Sunsplash Reggae University a little bit about your early days growing up? Whereabouts did you grow, and how and when did music become part of your life?
Well, actually, after school, well, growing up was in, let's say, Kingston 13. Yeah, Kingston, you know. And it was all about the glory days of reggae when we, you know, was worship. Before I have all those artists before I was gods in reggae music. And before it was like rocksteady, you know. So, like, from school days, I was active, you know, during school days as far as reggae, but was like unprofessional. You know, it wasn't, you could call it amateur days, you know. But after all of that, and I left school, it's like, you know, all about treading the road to become a real reggae artist. Because, you know, when, in those days, when you're being called a real reggae artist, it's all about after making hits, after hits, after hits, you know, and some of those hits was songs like None Shall Escape the Judgment, which will start the ball rolling.
Okay, well, before we get to that, I want to wind you back a little bit more. So you mentioned you were growing up there in Kingston 13. That's in Western Kingston.
Whitfield Town, Greenwich Town, and all of them town, you know?
And
reggae town.
And in addition to being an area with a lot of great reggae singers, you could say it was an underprivileged community, very much a have-not community in those parts of town. Is that correct?
Yeah, man, in those days it was all about music, you know? As I say, before I become professional, we started out. Actually, I should remember my bigger brothers who was very vocal but didn't make it to the professional stage. But they, motivate I, as a youth, young youth and thing. I hear my bigger brothers, like, rehearsing around the house corner and all of that. So it kind of influence I and encourage I to become what I am today, really. So I have to give thanks to my brothers, Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so your older brother, Eric Clarke, known as Fish Clarke.
Amos.
Right.
Amos Clarke and Eric Clarke.
Okay, so they'd actually been recording before you, but as you said, they didn't really break through.
No, because, as I say, in those days it was really, as I say, professional artists the stage was really high. It was like, from the rock steady time coming to Raw's reggae, those artists was real professional, so it wasn't like an easy way in, you gotta be real, no buck toe stumbling, you gotta be real, Producer was looking for artists who can really be beneficial and be financial and giving some profit as far as finance is concerned, because producers was looking for songs that would be hits, meaning selling a lot.
Okay, so let's take a little listen to a bit of track 1, and then Mr. Clarke will see what you can tell us about this one.
God made the sea and saw all the things in the sea. He also made the earth and all the plants that grows. He's the one for me, 'cause he had made man to be free. So you must give thanks and praises for the good things.
Well, this song was my first song, which wasn't really a hit. That's what I mentioned before, hits. You see, hits was really when you was really being played a lot on the radio, played a lot in the parties, played a lot in the jukeboxes, But this one was like a opening for me, like, just to kind of flex my muscles. And it was produced by a man by the name of Katz. But even this time, it is really important, because after that, I was like, very determined to go further. As I say, this was like a first time, but wasn't released officially, because in those days they had songs like on test press.
Right. So
Yeah,
this.
right. After test press, then come song with a label.
Right. So
All
this
right.
just came on a little blank label.
Blank label, yeah. All right. But that was, as I say, you also have Wandering, and on those days, when you get turned over to like the other side of the song, you would get a different song, you would have a song by the name of Julie.
Right.
Right? But there comes a time when now on the other side you have the version.
Right.
With a different mix, with sometimes that's where the DJ started, because we usually make the songs and after it become it and we need a different version, we put a DJ. And then if you have a man like King Tubby's, at least the sound was also a vehicle for the production of some of these songs, because some of these songs was only played on dub plates, not for releasing purpose, like months before release,
But so how was it that you came to record that first song for Clancy Echoes? How did that come about?
Well, those days, it wasn't, as I say, it wasn't an easy road in, Yeah, producer, there was like audition. A producer would listen to your song before he take it to the studio. And if he like your voice, your voice range, and he possibly might like the lyrics, but then again, he's thinking about how much he's gonna sell. because it's all about sales, you know. Yeah, a lot of songs is being made, and it does. The one that it's is the one that goes sell a lot.
Okay, well, let's take a little listen to track 2. Now, this is a song you just mentioned a while ago, and we'll see what you can tell us about this one.
Oh, oh, yeah. Every day you're wondering, what will you do? Every day you're wondering, when you'll be free. You wouldn't even try to reach the top. Then you will see, you wouldn't even try to reach the top. Then you will see, every day you're wondering, what will you do?
Well, this other song now, Wandering, took me to further into glory, but still wasn't really a big hit. This was a song that was really it in the dance hall. A man by the name of King Tubby's was playing this song. This song was released, but it wasn't a big seller, you know. It was mainly played in the dance on dub plate. That's when I went to meet King Tubby's, you know, and after all of that, no, the things just, other songs just became very popular, you know, like It's, there comes after this, there was all about the It's after It's after It's after It's. But this song, Wandering, it's called, Every Day You're Wandering, it was really a song made for really the sound purpose, you know, just to play on dub plate, you know, but it also was released on single, 45, vinyl, you know, but it wasn't really a big hit because, you know, we always a search for big hits.
Okay, so you're saying it was...
Stages after stages, you know?
You're saying it was an underground hit in the dance hall, but it didn't quite give you that breakthrough that you needed.
No, that's for real. It never.
Okay, well, give us a little taste of track 3. This is another intriguing song from your early career, and we'll see what you can tell us about this one. Number 3.
Oh, I need darling, yeah. My baby love me so, but she will not tell me no. But I really love her to my heart. She is the one for me, so never you go astray. If you will always be my queen. Oh, I really love you so never you leave me at all.
Actually, this one was called Golden Snake in the early 70s when I was still searching for hits. And I mean, you know, this wasn't really a hit also. This was a producer who just, I was hanging around a place by the, what they call Idler's Rest. And you have producers just, you know, moving around in Kingston where we have as the real headquarters of reggae, capital. So, you know, producer, like, you know, he have a faith and trust in you. So, you know, give a blind, as I'm gonna say, give a blind, and have a rhythm. And cause this was like a rhythm, this wasn't really a song that was made around the musician. This was a song that was brought to me as a rhythm section. And I listened to rhythm and just flex around it and put some lyrics to the rhythm. But it was still, I didn't really reach the stage I really wanted to reach.
So why was the song called Golden Snake, and who did you record it for?
Well, actually, it's a brethren. I don't know if you heard of my man named Keith Hudson. It was a brethren who usually move around Keith Hudson by the name of Stammer, who is no longer alive. He's the one who, because I did that song without any name. So he's the one that gave it the name Golden Snake. So I mean, I was just flexing my muscles, you know, as a man where in respect and him know that I could have, you know, really, he needs some voice on the rhythm, and I was the one who he went to, he called for us, so well, Johnny, I want you just go up on this rhythm, you know, a theme style attacking, and we just really go. But it never really, as I say, promotion in Jamaica is like you have to put a lot more into it, you know, got some radio play and, you know, promotion-wise, you know.
Okay, so let's take track 4, one last track before we get to that all-important breakthrough stage. Track 4, see what you can tell us about this one.
Jump back, baby, jump back. No, jump back, baby, jump back. Jump back, baby, jump back. I don't like you, but I love you. Seems that I always thinking of you. Oh, you treat me badly. I love you madly. You really got a hold on me.
Well, to tell you, this song was a song that, you know, after so many years, was a blessing to hear it now. Because, you know, the producer who made this song was a man by the name of Glenn Brown, which was always, you know, also brought to I as a rhythm track. And I did like do, you know, flex vocal-wise on the rhythm as he requests. And I, you know, that song also wasn't really, you know, because in those days it was really professional artists around, man. It was like not an easy way out or go for an easy pass as far as becoming a real artist, a hit maker, you know, and that wasn't really it, but it was like getting me ready, you know, all those songs. But remember that there was also some good songs, but sales is different. I mean like sales to take you up in the top 10.
Right.
Yeah.
So these were little steps forward. To get
gradually moving ahead to success.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hit track 6, and this is where we hear When You Take It to the Next Level.
Judgment in this time. These words I sing to all mankind. None shall escape the judgment in this time. These words I sing to all mankind. Arise, black man, Jehovah has come forward into Babylon.
Yeah. There comes the ball start to roll now, you know. We kick off the ball, you know, and the gate was open, and I never looked back. No way. This was like what I was really looking for, a start, you know, because you have to start and you have to make a start, you know, and this one was like, you know, playing the four corners of the island, the radio, jukebox, the parties, sound system, because you know in those days we have the hi-fi sound, which was the big sound, like Emperor of Fate, Arrows, King Tubby's. Those sounds was like playing dub plates, and you have the parties with some discos like the Sonatone disco, the People's Choice, the Maritone disco. Those discos was like mainly for parties, because you have going to the party different from going to the dance.
Right. So you're saying the song was being played island-wide in a lot
All
of different
around,
settings.
all around
But
Jamaica.
I understand that the song, first of all, you didn't write it, and you weren't meant to be singing it. So can you tell the good people here at Rototom Sunsplash exactly what happened?
And when I should say, this song was when I was searching for something to go in the top 10. Well, this song was a chart song. The others wasn't. This song was really starting the chart. Well, actually, this song was made at a studio by the name of Treasure Ride, Duke Reed. And we went there, and they was like, you know, I went there to do a song by the name of My Desire is to ever know you, never let you go, baby, yeah, baby, yeah, baby, yeah, my desire. Right? And, you know, we were there, and musicians was there, even the flying cymbal that you hear there, the dominance, where the drums. They was just like normally before the song was being recorded, they would like, you know, musicians would flex their muscles and, you know, and that was like a flex muscle style. And when we're ready to record, the producer say, that's the same way you want it, don't change that, right? And I mean, we went there with some like other fellas who, you know, brought, the song was there, and you know, normally in those days, we usually make the rhythms and during the day, and at nights we usually go do the voicing, because at night time after, you know, because I always tell most of the younger artists that it's best to make rhythm during the day. And at night, when you're clear up, it's best time for you to do the voicing. So I did this song with a group. But when time come for us to do the voicing, we went to a studio by the name of King Tubby's. So I was the only one there. So Tubby's say, well, Johnny, just jump on it, you know, and after all of that, man, it's like, that's what it was all about. That's why I was the one, a breath of fresh air, man, as an artist, just come on the scene, and different vibes, and the people just love it, and it was so dominant that it became a hit in the top 5.
Okay, so it was one of those spontaneous creations, and that's what you needed to break through. Now, you mentioned before about recording different songs on the version. So play us a little taste of track 7, and we'll see what you can tell us about this mutation.
La 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 la. You. Shally mally, shally mally, shally mally, shally cali cali aye. Shally mally, shally mally, shally mally, cali cali aye. None shall escape the gun caught in this time. These words were spoken by Joshua. None shall escape the gun caught in this time. These words were spoken by Joshua. Arise, gunmen, and forward up your gun into the churches now.
Actually, as I was saying, I don't know, I think I was one of the first artists to make 2 hit songs on the one rhythm. None Shall Escape the Journey, this track you hear before, this track was a hit. And this one also was a hit on the same rhythm. And the reason why this one came about, in Jamaica, the violence was slowly increasing, and they need to take some steps to kind of quell the violence, you know, to slow it down or to stop it. So the Prime Minister, he announced that, you know, we're going to be having a gun court for all of the bad guys who say they love to fire their guns and all of that. So, you know, in those days, it was a big announcement. So, you know, we just, you know, put some lyrics together on the same track, because this song, the rhythm was really running hot. So in them days, if you're going to really sing something, and even where the Prime Minister announced, you have to put it on a hot track, a stepper. So we decided to put it on this same track, and it was like a winner also, man, I tell you.
Right.
Because we sung all what the Prime Minister said. If you listen to the song, gun court for who was so violent and badness and gunfiring and all of that. But I mean, it was like necessary in them days, because things was getting out of hand,
Well, so yes, thank you. Now, along that same lines, if you move up to track number 10, and this is another one of the records from the same era when you were recording very strongly, the Bunny Strikely. Let's see what you tell us about the message on this track.
I don't want to be no rude boy. I don't want to be no bad man. Cause my mama always told me that I was born to be a great man. Every time she come to me, she always tell me about my life. God knows how I feel about my mama, about my mama. I don't want no one to stop me. I don't want no one to hold me. I don't want no one to push me around. Oh no, I don't want.
Yeah, this song was Rude Boy, I mean, actually, I was very active in those days, We would usually keep the sound system alive because we was so active musically. We go into the studio so often, the sound could not run out of ammunition because I was singing songs just for sound system alone. This song was made just for the sound, and you only had to go to the dance to hear this song because this song was not for the radio, it wasn't commercial. Because there was someone like King Tubby's usually, we usually sing songs just for the sound purpose. But after going to the dance and see the reaction from the crowd in the dance, we decided to make this song and put it on vinyl because in those days, for you to get a song like this when it is being played on the sound, you have to be cutting dub plate, and you have to be like them big hi-fi, like Arrows hi-fi, Emperor Fate hi-fi, and all those big sound, King Tubby's hi-fi, strictly on dub plate, dub plate which costs a lot more. So a lot of the small sounds we usually wait until it's released on the vinyl, 7-inch vinyl, so that they could like that. So what happened is that we usually get the reaction from the dance crowd to know when to release a song because normally the sound system was always like a roadblock, crowd all over, So when the sound system play a song and the crowd react to it positively, showing so much love, we say, yeah, this is ready to release now. So that's when this song was released on vinyl,
Okay.
Rude Boy. Don't want to be a rude boy.
And then what about the message in the song, Don't Want to Be a Rude Boy? Why did you feel the need to record a song like that at that time?
Well, as I say, every Sunday, Tubby's usually have me at the studio singing songs just for his sound alone. That's why he was named the King Tubby's, because he was playing songs that no other sound could play. And if you want to hear those songs, you couldn't stay home and hear it on the radio. You have to go to the dance, because it only been played in the dance, hi-fi, not the disco like the party. This was dance hall, real dance hall, not them days there. Yeah.
Okay, so you recorded it for that purpose.
Yeah, that's a flex.
Gotcha.
Don't want, because Tubby's used to just play some rhythms, and in different rhythms, when you finish one and play the next one, and you just flex, and that is not going to be released though, This is only for Tubby's and just for dub played purpose. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, Johnny Clarke, you had so many hits in the 1970s working with Bunny Stryker Lee and his Aggravators band, composed of the core of the Soul Syndicate, who we were fortunate to have with us earlier in the week. But in the interest of time, I'm going to move things along a few years. And just give us a taste of track 17. And we're going to see what you can tell us about this when Johnny Clarke steps into the producer's chair.
God love is with I, He rule I and I. Them a fight, them a fight, them a fight, them a fight down I. Let them fight, let them fight, let them fight, let them fight themselves. I no kill no one, I no envy no one, I no grudge no one. Yes, I love everyone. Till them a fight, them a fight, them a fight, them a fight down I.
Yeah, man, respect, give thanks for the item support and know. So, well, this song was really a production which I personally produced. Because in them days, we usually sing a lot for producers, and we couldn't do no better than that because, the producer was the man who was financing the thing. He paid the musicians, he paid the studio time, paid to press the record. All we do was go into the studio and sing. But there comes a time when, certain development and you reach a certain stage. Because even when I started out, producer, you just have to listen the song before you say, go in the studio. There comes a time when he didn't want to listen no more. All I need to say, I have 2 songs, and he said, go in, you do it for the listen. So there comes a time also when I reach a stage when I could do my own production. So these songs was produced by High and was given to a company by the name of Green Sleeve. And it was like a song by the name of Bad Days Are Going. And this song that you heard a while ago, well, his Iman production was really distributed by Green Sleeve, which maybe now is distributed by VP.
And was it a difficult transition to make from just being a singer to then being in command of the production?
No, because what happened is that we were living like a family, like I did song for Robbie, I do song for China, because Robbie, we trade to each other. When I'm ready, I would say I have a song and I don't have to pay them. They would just come work. I mean, although this song was really a song that was really, done because I decided that I had some finance and because I could, do some other stuff to mix it, because if you're going to be mixing, you're going to have to pay some money. The musician might play for you free. But if you're going to be mixing it to take it up to the Hingle, to the UK, for distribution, it's going to be mixed properly. So when the distributor heard it, he right away, the sound is the quality is so good, great, that he decided to go with it.
Gotcha. So let's take a listen to a bit of track 18. Now this track, everybody in the UK is going to remember this one, and it was an iconic track that the mighty Josh Shaka had for many years, from that time till now.
Well, this song, respect, give thanks, respect to the item, This song was also another production from Iman, Iman personally produced. But this song was really done along with a song by the name of Sweet Reggae Music. and it wasn't a quick release. It was being played in the dance by a man by the name of Shaka. Shaka, who was playing this song for a while. And then they decided that they were going to be making a movie by the name of Babylon. And, you know, by Chaka play, they just find some form of love with this song. And it was also a soundtrack for the movie, which was released by a company by the name of Chrysalis. But, you know, I didn't bring it up. I didn't give it to a distributor, just as the one before, like the one by Jah Love is retired and Bad Days Are Going. This song was just brought up and was just given to Shaka to be played in just the dance. It was released till long after when Chrysalis decided to, when the movie came on the scene and they decided to include it on a soundtrack album. And that's where it took off, really, as the market release song in the UK, really, along with the movie Babylon.
Right. Now, in those days, the early 1980s, you had a lot of strong connections through spending time in the UK. Give us a taste of track 20, and we'll see what you can tell us about this connection that came about at that time.
They put us in captivity many hundreds of years ago. We know, told us that one day we should be free. But when we just don't know, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Thy guidance, O Jah, is what we seek. Oh, guide us, Jah.
Well, after living in the UK for a while, give thanks, man, respect, because them songs, they're really massive, you know. Because, you see, I connect myself to some very great people, you know, man, like Dennis Bovell, who is so versatile musically. And he had this track, you know, and, you know, people always seek for artists who they think can really, you know, do a finished job, vocal-wise. So this song was really done in the UK, you know, through a man named Dennis Bovell, because when we were living here, we have this musical feeling right through all the way. That's why we wasn't lazy in the business. That's why we usually keep the sound very active, you know, because in our time, the sound couldn't run out of ammunition because we was so active in the studio. They always have songs to be played, you know. So while in the UK, we met up with Dennis Bovell, and he say, well, boy, Mr. Clarke, how are you on this tune, really, you know, and that's where it all started, you know, and that's, you have it now to play for the people, so it comes from, that's a UK song, you know, Dennis Bovell, yeah?
Okay,
yeah,
so you were keeping yourself active in the UK. Now, we're going to be moving to question and answer in just a few moments, but still got the last few snippets to get through before we open it up to the panel and then to you, the good public here. So give us a little bit of 21, just to remind again of these other spontaneous collaborations that happened in the UK in that time.
Reggae music, give the people what they want. Sweet, sweet music. I don't want
Yes. What can you tell us about that song, Nuclear Weapon?
Well, actually, you know, even before that song, I mean, I want to tell about a label named Fashion also, you know. Then, which was before this. But this song, this one, was really, you know, in the days when I was so active and full of energy. When I was living in the UK, I was living in the studio. Yeah, because you know, and a man like, I have to give thanks to a man what them call him Mad Professor, where people have him a real label, because he, you know, he has a studio, and there was no time where we could have said, well, time to stop now and time to, we just have all the time. We work right back till the next morning. Man, there's a make tune and there's a voice and everything, you know. So this song, Nuclear Weapon, I think this song was actually a track on an album named Yard Style, you know. So I have to give thanks to the man named Neil Fraser, what them called Mad Professor. See, but this song is Nuclear Weapon is from Mad Professor. Yeah, man, a wicked mixer. Them are the scientists, you know. Yeah, man, not the mixing, you know.
All right,
yeah,
thank
man.
you. Yeah.
Oh, Johnny, I have a question about a brand new Johnny Clarke that is available on the website of the label Taboo One. It's an album never released before, on my knowledge, titled Love Up. You did record that album at Lego Studios with Bravo. Can you tell us something about that piece of work?
Love Up?
Yeah, I think the name is Love Up.
You mean with Sly and Robbie?
Yeah, it's just been released now.
Well, actually, it's really small world studio, you know. Because, you see, there comes a time, because when I come in the business, there was like, you know, musicians like around I, family-wise, and I would have sing to the musician and they would play around I, you know, different flavors, and, you know, before, that's where the song was really arranged from them times, you know. But there comes a time when all of that was like done away with, and it was introduced to rhythms. So Sly and Robbie had made some rhythms and sent it down to Small World, and, you know, asked I to, you know, flex my muscles, do voice over some of the tracks them, and that's how it come about, you know, Sly and Robbie. Although I did song already for Sly and Robbie from a longer time still, but, you know, this last stage, they made some rhythms and them feel like them, you know, them feel my vibes. So me just make sure say it was really excellent, and that's people. Because remember, when you have the rhythm, you know, I mean, we have to adjust ourselves to whatever within the time, because the days when I was talking about was like in the 1970s. Now we're talking about in the 2024, 23, and there is so much changes now. Now they don't have no reel-to-reel again. It's all about computer and the monitor and all of that. In my days, it was 2-track. You sing, you have to just come to studio and know what you come to do. It was, you know, there was no like patching up, and, you know, so, you know, there's a lot of different changes, you know, because, you know, we can fix up song now, you know, due to change and all of that. You know, the days when I come into the business, if you make a mistake, you just have to go out. We never make mistake, because we come to studio and know what we come about and know what was doing. So it's like one take, you know. So time change when I just rhythm I get, and just Toby used to do that too, because when we used to sing on Toby's sound, not like live, but sing songs to be played on his next session. We usually play some rhythms, just like Ride On Girl, and most of those songs was made by a man named Augustus Pablo.
Right.
With Toby's rhythm, them when he used to play with Toby Pablo, you know, with like Ride On Girl, I work so, what they call Death Trap, same Road Boy, Cassava Piece, and all them. Anywhere you go, them I say, you as Toby's again. I don't want to be no, I work so, Toby's. So all of them songs, I say, we was so, you know, versatile in them days. We usually sing both for the sound and both for commercial radio station, we do jukebox,
Right.
parties. Because parties is all about the 45, 7-inch. Dub plate now is hi-fi, the bigger sound where you get big, you can't go beside the box when you turn the bass and you eat some food, your belly would be, you know?
So you had to be prepared for every eventuality in recording.
Yeah, all of the different segments was involved in them.
Gotcha. Yeah, come in, Pete.
Mr. Clarke, since a lot of your songs refer to or express your Rastafari beliefs, could you share with us how Rastafari, or how you found Rastafari, or how Rastafari found you, and how it impacted on your life and your music?
Well, as I say, I have to go back to my bigger brother again, you know, because as a youth growing up, in the days, my old lady, she was with my mother. She was like a Christian. She, you know, praise God, you know, go to church, carry me to Sunday school, and so, like, as a youth, the first time I hear about Rasta, my bigger brother, when the rain is falling, and the lightning is flashing, and the thunder is rolling, my brother would just bawl out, Rastafari, you know? And my mother now would say no, because in those days, those people like said, no, when those things is happening, it's God doing his thing, so we must be quiet. And because God is, you know, the Christian thing, you know. But my brother, no, man, it's them time they make up your eyes. When they had the lightning flash all the thunder, lick and say, Pugum says, last year. So as a youth, you know, I grew young, you know. Me hear that and really and truly. And then again, you know, it just like go, you know, the music now. And because in those days we usually really we was very creative lyrically. So when we sit down, we usually, because in those days, I would have to really respect the producers from them time, you know. Because the producers, in those days, they didn't want to hear nothing that they know already. When you go to sing, when there was an audition and you go to sing for a producer, like, you don't hear you yet, you know. But it's like about this audition where they're going to be testing you. You don't have a name, you know, you're an amateur. But like every Sundays, you usually go and you sing to the promoter. And if you hear a song that he like, you say, well, I'll come next week, we're going to take it to the studio. But like in those days, when you do all them songs now, and the producer now fall in love with it, you know that you're ready. You're ready for the studio. But if you don't really have a song that will catch him, you're going to be waiting for a long time. And then you're going to be saying, come back next time, come back next time. So, you know, it's good when you can really, you know, have something that's the producer. Because in them days, the producer never, you know, have come into the business financially, you know, rich, you know. They was seeking to get something. So they were always looking for hits. So when you go, when a producer wants you come and sing, he must look for something where he can go sell. Because it's all about sales, making money, you know, bringing in the funds so you can go press more record and all of that. So
you said you had to be ready, essentially.
Yeah, man, you have to be ready, man. Make sure and say, well, then, you know, I mean, but then again, you don't know. It's all about, as I said, creativity. You make a song, you sit down, you observe the surrounding, what is happening in the surrounding, if it's crime or if, you know, certain thing, you know, and then you create song off that. But they didn't want you sing no song that they hear already, close to what they cut, which is good because what it does in this time, it works well for, what you call it now, publishing.
Right.
Because when if you're a man that create your song, when there's time, there comes a time when you can't call it some pension. Royalty is going to be coming from, you know, songwriter, you being the originator.
Yeah, so
PRS and PPL and all of them.
Essentially, you're saying you had to come original.
No, the producer is the one who I give credit for that.
Okay,
Because,
so
yeah.
I think we've reached the time when we're going to hand over the platform to you, the good people here at the Reggae University, to put your questions to our special guest, Mr. Johnny Clarke. So who would like to put the first question?
Welcome, you know.
Yeah, okay, we got a question over here.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Clarke.
Good evening.
I'm from England, born in England.
Great.
And our parents were there. The people didn't want us. In school, there were 1,500 other pupils. 10 of us were black. So the music that you guys... See, listening to what you were playing earlier reminds me of my youth because it was hard. There were friends of mine getting beaten up, stabbed up. School was a trial, but the music was what managed to bring us all together. And the first tune that you played, you said that it wasn't a hit, but in England, it was a hit for us because I even remember the version where we Spenger, Spenger, and everybody starts skanking, you know?
Yeah, true.
My question is, did you and the other artists in Jamaica actually realize what you were helping us to deal with in England through your music?
Actually, you know, that song Skingy, that one was really brought about the hit, the beginning of the hit, because the producer, he came to England and heard that song, Wandering, because I was there, because in those days, there was the competition was rough. The camp I went to was, you have all of the top artists, Slim Smith, John Ho, Del Robbie. So night after night, I went to studio and nothing was done because I was a small person in the camp, you know. So when the producer went to the UK and heard that song, he came back, you know, and decided to, because he knew about me, but I didn't have the chance until he returned to Jamaica after hearing the song Skenge. But you see, that song was really, as I say, there was a lot of song that wasn't really it in Jamaica. Was very lovable in the UK because, you know, there was time, but even with that song was produced by a man named Rupie Edwards and a label named Success. But when he did that song, he was being laughed at because Everyday Wandering was really a song that was the original song for that rhythm, which was being played mainly in the dance. But Rupie Edwards now went to the studio by the name of Randy's, and he was just, you know, flexing his muscle and the rhythm and saying, skenge, skenge, sprang. And people was having it like a joke. Man come down and laugh down the whole place. A man said, where Rupie go up the good? Okay, that skenge and all of the rhythm, man. But tell you the truth, it became a big hit. So it does that, it does a feel. Sometimes a man does himself because he must spend his own money and he must produce him thing. He is really a producer. So he does feel like someone do that. So I'll put that to the rhythm. Yeah, so it was really a big hit, but it came from my original, my Everyday Wandering. That's my first song that was really passed by a producer. At the audition, it was a song named Julie. Julie, don't you know how I love you? You know, yeah, them song there, you know.
Okay, so more spontaneous creation. Thank you for that question. Right, who would like to put...
Great question. Yeah.
Who would like to put the next question to our special guest, Johnny Clarke? And this is your chance to put... Yeah, here we go. Question at the back here.
Who's next? Who's next?
Hi, Mr. Johnny Clarke.
Yeah, man, give thanks. Give thanks.
I was curious about your time when you were behind the producer seat and kind of what was your approach as far as starting a rhythm or starting a new tune, kind of where your mentality was and what your first processes were as far as getting to that.
During my producing days?
Yes.
Well, I was very lucky, you know, because me and a man named Jojo, Channel 1, good brethren, you know. He's a man who used to give me all that day in the studio. Yeah, just give me a day. That's where all of those songs came out of, you know. Bad Days Are Going, Jah Love Is With High, You know, I want to tell you the first song I did in that studio was a song by the name of African People. It was on an album named Blood and Fire, you know, with Dread. And some of those songs, and even I did over Every Knee Shall Bow, because, you know, sometimes, you know, and then again I have the musician free, because when I read it, they want me to, because even that song I did named Fancy Makeup, and a song named Suspicious, with, when name now, Fancy Makeup and Suspicious with my brethren, Boom Boom Boom. Well, Robbie did Stranger in Love, and all of them songs. Was really Robbie and China, other musicians. So when I ready to do my stuff, they would just come and play for me freely, because, you know, yeah, that's how it goes, you know. So more time when that's why we have to work with each other. You know, we work with each other. We're like family. When I ready to do my production, they come and play for me, and I do have to pay them. Because when they're ready for me, when Robbie ready and said, Johnny, I want you to sing Fancy Makeup for me, you know, me just go sing it. So when me want Robbie come play bass with me, Robbie just come play bass with me, and China and the whole of them.
So it was
family.
It was like mutual exchange.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Okay, so I think we got time for a last couple of questions. So before we bring this session to a close, make way for the next session.
Who's next?
Yeah, who's got another question? Okay, over here. Oh, yeah, okay, one there and one there.
Yeah, man. Blessed.
Greetings, Johnny.
Respect.
Towards the end of the 70s into the early 80s, when things were starting to change to digital music, you did a bit of work with Prince Jazzbo. The late Prince Jazzbo.
Like No Fear and all them. No Fear, no, yeah.
How did you find the change in the music, to change the roots reggae, to go into what Jazzbo was doing at that time was strictly experimental, what he was doing? How did you find working with Jazzbo?
Jazzbo now as bridging still, and Jazzbo, as I say, we just the flex, you know. I mean, we see them amongst Jazzbo, because we them you know, on the corner, you know, a tough gang we did that, you know. It was before Federal, you know. Federal Recording Company became Tough Gang. So Jazzbo now, they do a thing, and because me a man, me very helpful, you know, amongst brethren, a man want me do a thing, and me just do it for him, because there comes a time when maybe me have to knock on him film door for help, and me just remember the help where I give to him. So these them people that help you, you know, the people who you help most time, you know. So I refuse when a man want to have something and say, boy, I want to do a thing for you, you know. And you're going to do it because you're going to say, boy, maybe tomorrow is high time to knock on your door. And then you're not going to refuse, because you're going to remember, say, when you knock on your door, I did answer the call. So there comes my time now if you answer. Just like what happened with that, what I said before with, you know, how we used to flex with the musician, them. I sing for them and them play for you. So without even a cost. Because if they want to play for your next producer, the producer have to pay them.
Gotcha.
But I them don't pay, because there comes a time when I sing all every prostitute, Suspicious, China, and we just do it, and you know, I'm not really get no money, but we just wait till when me ready for them play for me, them come play, and me not have to pay them. So it's the same thing with Jazzbo, you know, Jazzbo, our brethren, and yeah, that's a thing, you know, just flex, just give him a vibe, bless him up, you know, we bless, I call it bless up.
Okay.
We bless him up, you know? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we got the one last question just over here. Yeah.
Yes, greetings, my brother.
Aile.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, my question is, do you think soon you're gonna go to Africa to bring the vibes to the
Africa?
Yeah, to the youth, which they need the energy of the music this time, you know.
Well, I don't want to tell you, no, brethren, in Africa, like, well, I tell you, I reach Africa already, you know, and I the greatest respect where I get. I never fly in a helicopter before. And it's when I go to Kenya, I fly in a helicopter.
That's where I come from, brother.
Yeah, man, because I go to Kenya and do a show named Guinea's Sunbeat. One of my manager was here today. She was also there with I and I, you know. So we were staying at the hotel in Nairobi named Stanley. And everywhere else I go perform, when in a hotel, I have to go to the ground floor. But in Nairobi, I went to the top floor, and there was helicopters, you know. So we fly over the venue, and because it's so crowded, we couldn't go through the gate, and they didn't want us to be late. So they took us by helicopter. So Africa, our place, man. Remember, that's why we sing. And when we do that show, the amount of flag, I mean, I see like, I see a lot of shows being done and a lot of flags and things.
Yeah.
But that show, I see flag till I cast. Flag a flash all over the fence, broke down a man, broke down the fence and run in, man, and Nairobi, man. Big thing, man. See her there, she was there. Yeah, I tell you. So, can't forget Africa. 4 parents, man. And that's how the thing start,
That's for real.
I'm glad we could have really touched the land, the motherland, and get that treatment there. Yeah.
Yeah, especially for this time, As you know that Kenya now, many things mixed up.
From them time, they're still. And we're going to see so much brethren down there who say them now come back to Jamaica because, boy, they saw them can't sleep with them door open, them window open, peaceful. Them day in Uganda, Tanzania, and all of them, man, they come to Kenya, come to the festival. And they must say, boy, African, boy, I come back to Jamaica, I see Bobo, I see Bingy, all kind of man in the craft market. Jamaican were left with down, they will now go back. They say, boy, as long as some can't sleep with them door open, them window, everything, when them there. Tanzania, him there, Kenya, him there, The only thing with them fight is the herb.
I know, man.
Yeah, them fight the herb. Because we have Bill and Spliff and them say, no weed, no weed.
Well, thank you very much for that last question to bring things full circle. I'd also like to say big up Culture Promotions for making this session possible. Just to remind, in 20 minutes, we will be starting the next session right here, which is going to be a workshop on King Tubby's Big Knob with Shalart 58 and the founders of Audio Merge. So stick around for that. And that session will be en Espanol, in Spanish, but still absolutely worth checking out. Also remind, tomorrow at 4:15 p.m., we will be screening 6 short films here made by different sound systems around the world, including El Gran Latido from Colombia, who some of you may have seen in the Dub Academy the other night. We've got films from Australia, Brazil, India, and South Africa. So that is not to be missed, and that will be followed by Nyabingi Chants with the House of Rastafari. But right about now, one more time,
man. Thank
warm
you
applause
thank you
for our
very
special guest,
much.
Johnny Clarke.
Respect. Give thanks. Yes, give thanks. The blessing, showers of blessing, Yeah, man.